Hello, Africa. This is your girl, Mantombi Makubele. I'm back tonight again with today's ladies on Dexterity Radio, #1 station online. I am so happy tonight. I finally got my guest. Remember last week I promised you that I was going to have a special lady to talk to us about, what women talk about, what women are worried about, what women are excited about, what women are doing out there. So she's here tonight, and we're going to be talking about the conversations that happen when you see two women sitting together in a restaurant. What are they talking about? Her name is Bridget Nkuna, and she runs an organization called Owami Women. It's women with deep conversations, deep, meaningful conversations. So she started this organization, I think it was in 2010, and she's here to tell us all about it. Bridget, sorry. Bridget, welcome.
Thank you, Mantombi, thank you.
We are so happy to have you here. So before we even talk about Owami, tell me, who is Bridget?
Well, thank you for having me first and foremost, and hello to all your listeners. Bridget is a mother, a woman, a daughter of somebody, someone's sister too. And, with that in mind, it's how I arrived at this space called Owami Women. My background before becoming an Owami lady is in marketing and communications. So I have worked for various corporate companies in executive levels. Very recently, I was the head of marketing at Sun City Resort. And then I actually started Owami in 2010 formally. But the plant and the seeds of Owami were placed in my heart so many years ago.
Why? What happened?
Specifically in 2002. As a young lady, 29 years of age, I was pregnant with my first child. And then at the last trimester, my mother passed away. And when she passed away, it literally was 2 weeks before my first child was born. And then, obviously coming out of anesthetic, and you are so confused, I actually forgot that she had passed on. And I seeked my mother, and, once that was passed, I realized that one would need their mother, naturally. One would need that effeminate, feminine, nurturing, loving, tender care that only a mother can provide. And moreover, mothers have got these best kept, best learned experiences that no money can buy and nobody can really teach you. And I felt that, if I felt like this lost and confused, I wonder how many people and how many women feel like me, who need that support, that guidance, the things that the mother provides. So I then thought, one day I wish, in fact, at that very moment that I had encapsulated all of the wisdom that I knew my mother possessed. And in fact, she had been a woman who inspired a lot of other women. So, and I'd been lucky enough to be in her presence when she did that. And so I'd learned a lot from her in that way. But still, she wasn't there. Yeah. And I felt that, with all of the intelligence or with all of the worldly support that I even had at that very moment, I still felt like there's other women who probably don't have this and who need it so desperately. So I then decided, okay, one day something will happen in this space. And it did. I was just driving down Republic Road. I remember the day. It was just shortly after the World Cup. And this word just came into my spirit. I was actually playing music quite loudly and enjoying myself and listening to music. And then this name came into my spirit. It was Owami, my own. And when I sort of tuned into that, I realized, my own femininity, my own womanhood, my own sensuality, my own being as a woman. And I thought, that's it. That's what I would call this baby I've been pregnant with all this time. Owami, my Owami Women. And that's how it was founded.
So Owami
it
is
was
what,
started.
Zulu?
Owami is Zulu, and I'm not even Zulu. So I'm Shangaan. So
Yes,
I knew then there must be something divine about that moment, because it wasn't a name that is in my native language. But I also know what the name means. And I researched the name, and I got more excited about what it means, because it is Owami, my own, but it could be our own.
Yes.
So it's all embracing, and it's quite large in what it is. And then shortly after that, I started my events, where I had women having deep and meaningful conversations. Really notable women coming in and sharing experiences. Really everything, body, mind, heart, and soul.
So, tell me now, when you're saying Owami and it means my own, so are you encouraging women to what? To possess or own themselves?
Own their
Own their
femininity.
lives?
Own their lives. Own their stature in this world. Own their standing.
Are women struggling to own their lives?
Yes. Society takes away from us. I think from being girl children, we a lot of what is our own is taken away from us. We forever having to apologize as women. Some cultures even take it to extreme, where a woman cannot be you and I dressed, in our plain clothing, and this woman is in robes and robes and robes for days, whether it's hot or not, and that's her own is taken away from her. So her own resonates to me. My own resonates a lot with me for that reason, and really, it's not even just an encouragement. It's a truth that we all have our place in this world, and it is to say to women, be proud of what is your own. If we feel beautiful, you can't be too beautiful. There's a lot of things, and then it goes into education. We can only study so much, because if you know so much, you'll be a problem. So to your husband or to society, you need to be tamed. Sit, boo boo, sit. And so it goes a long way, and that's why for me, I think it's so easy to fall in love with that word, my own.
Are you finding that it's easy for women to embrace this ownness or themselves, or do you guys now have to take women on a journey?
It's a journey, and I don't even think it's about women finding it hard to embrace or not. I think when it comes to personal matters like these, there has to be an element of credibility and trust. So you've got to trust me with you, and I mean, if right now we decide to go there. To another level, that we won't probably be ourselves. It'll be ourselves going there. You have to feel a level of confidence in me, and likewise. So when I meet women and I see the reluctance, I know it's the same reluctance I would experience as a person, and they got to see my heart as a person, and they've got to see the intention behind this, and the truth and the simplicity. It's not that complicated. It's us having deep and meaningful conversations that are our own. And so no, the initial reluctance, I think there's a lot of women who've been watching, just think, what is this? But I think when they get to understand that it's just a platform for information sharing, and it's platforms for information sharing that are in the form of events, where I have these notable speakers coming through, and the newsletters themselves, and the social media aspect of it, and the one-on-ones that I have. So it's really just the ability for women to have a place to go to get information, to share information, to network.
And on a personal level, because I found, I'm running an organization, but it's for single mom. And when you talk about that initial reluctance, I can fully relate, because it's like, why is this person now wanting us to talk about all these issues that we go through, as single mothers? We don't want to talk about it. We're happy with, hiding behind our Brazilian hair, hiding behind our makeup and our big cars, and it looks like we're all fine, but inside we are crumbling or bleeding or crying out for help.
Totally.
Yes, totally. So do you share your own personal stories? And what has been for you? What has been like a defining moment? Something that's when you share with these women, you find that you're able to break down those walls, and they're able to now to say, you know what, this person gets me. This person knows what I'm going through or what I have gone through.
You know, there's so many defining moments in this journey.
Yes.
You know, for one, I've found that the vulnerability of saying, I need that woman in touchness.
Yes.
And I'm not afraid to go there, because women are very difficult.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
so
yes,
very
yes.
scary, very scared themselves, very insecure. So the element of saying, hang on a minute, I want nothing from you. I just
Yes.
want to be with you. I just want to share with you.
Yeah.
Myself,
Yes.
and whatever element or whatever aspect of myself, I mean, be it work experiences or relationships. So I don't go with a particular story. Stories come, because they will. You know, you'll
Yes.
always find
Yeah,
Me
there's
Too
always,
or something that comes in. It could be in a mother role or in a relationship love role,
Yes,
you know,
yes, yes.
or so the story I tell is a truthful story of I needed somebody to talk
Yes,
to, and it starts from that simplicity and the truth, and says, actually I do too, and then it morphs into whatever it may morph into, and I don't direct it, and it's good that I don't direct it,
Yes.
because I'm not hoping for any element or any outcome, but just for us to connect. So a lot comes out.
Yes.
But I think that for me, the biggest defining times and moments are when women within the platforms, particularly on social media, and we have this group, we've got about 1,100 women at the moment, and somebody will go there, you know, they'll
Yes.
talk about the abuse that
Yes.
they're experiencing in their relationship. And when they write it in such a way that it's just out there and it's honest. And you have a responsibility to respond to it, you know, and connect to it, because they didn't write it, so it's not sensational
Yes.
stuff. It's really, you can feel it. Just the other day, a woman spoke about the disappointment they feel about their partner, who is so materialistic, you
Yes, I
know.
saw that one.
So he's because she's not working, she's now just part of the dormant, whatever, and she had a sense of disappointment. And what I said to her was that, you know, it's actually very disappointing when somebody that you look up to, that you
Yes.
respect, especially as a husband or partner, actually goes there and becomes silly,
Yes.
just plain in jail, you know, not actually exhibiting an emotional intelligence at all. But it happens.
Yeah.
We experience it every day. The most important thing is for you not to marry your worth to what they think.
Yes.
Because that's where it's a problem. Your sense of disappointment is real, but your sense of worth is not whether they think you're worthy or not. You know, and you're also not married to their opinion. It's their opinion of life. It's how they process life. So you keep your eyes on the ball. Your ball is that you got your own sole purpose in this world. They are part of your life. They're part of your being a partner and all of that, and they must be respected. But you remain intact. That's what we need to be working on and talking to you being
Yes.
intact. And they are stories of materialism works for them, and one day we hope that they get delivered. But you're also not their deliverer either.
Yes.
You know, so you can't take the journey for them. You can't wish intelligence upon them. So it's those kind of things that happen. I mean, the other deeper stories. There
Yes.
was another girl whose husband they have a child. And so the husband's family goes to another church, another religion, and they subsequently go to traditional healers and stuff like that. And she is born again. And so whenever she gives the child to the other side, she knows that the child is exposed to certain things that are not comfortable for her. And, you know, what does it mean? You know, and in fact, it was a boyfriend. So it was a can of worms. There were people talking to. It's a boyfriend, but we also have in the network huge experts. I mean, there was a lady who spoke from a legal perspective that the child belongs to two people. So when they do, you know, there has to be work on this that you guys have, where there comes to a. But, you know, can we understand each other? Well, you know, what is our relationship stand together? What is work on that, because he has legal rights on the child. So it's deep stuff like
yes,
that.
Yes, it is deep stuff. I really can hear that. After the break, we are going to talk about what came out of the event that you had last week. What were the conversations that you guys had? Because I'm sure a lot of people would want to be like a fly on the wall, to hear these deep and meaningful conversations that go on at Owami. I'm still with Bridget here. We're talking about women, Owami women. These are women who have deep and meaningful conversations. And, I always have this picture when I look at this. When you walk in the mall, you will always see ladies, either 2 or 3. They'll be sitting in a restaurant over a glass of wine, but you can see that they are in a deep conversation. They're talking about something, and sometimes you wish you could be there, you could be a fly. And I've had my own discussions with my girlfriends, over a glass of wine or a cup of tea, where you're opening up and it's like you found people that you finally understand what you're going through, the journey that you're going through, and they will not judge you. And I believe that's what Owami is all about, to help women to talk about what they're going through and to be in an environment where you will not be judged. So Bridget and the Owami women had a function last Saturday. That was their first event for the year, I suppose. So which means it sets the tone for the year, and I'm sure they made plans and they talk about how they envision this year to look like. So she's going to tell us what happened last Saturday, what is the theme for the year, if there is a theme, and what are the ladies looking forward to achieving this year.
Oh, Mantobi, the event last week was just on another level. You can plan things and sort of see them with your spirit eye, that this is what I'd like to achieve. But on the day, and especially where it's spirit work, wow. Then the Holy Spirit takes over. I mean, for one, I had put together a nicely tapped up speech that I didn't even end up even reading because it was just on another level. So the purpose of the event was to do what we call goal setting and vision boarding for 2015. A lot of people go into the year with new goals. I want to lose weight, I want to do this and start that. But sometimes, and sometimes they do know where to start and what to do, but sustaining it is a challenge. So we got together to remind each other, firstly, that we are born for a purpose and we are here to manifest the glory of God and serve one another, and not just women, serve the world, and with our talents and purpose, through our purpose. And what is it, if you've forgotten what it is? And to remind everyone to go back to the drawing board, to the master, to the potter's house, because that's where it starts. You can't have a purpose outside what God's plans for your life is. So you need to bring yourself into a place of submission and supplication, and then allow yourself to be guided. So I had, we had speakers such as we had speakers that spoke to, like I say, our events are all about the mind, body, and soul of a woman. And so we had a woman speaking to the financial wellness, relationship wellness. We spoke to your intuition, following that, knowing that that's actually God. That's what God is giving you is a watch out. It speaks to you when nobody else can, or that voice that's so deep inside. And we had various other things that we did, but eventually what we came out with was a sheet that had what your goals are, personal, relationship, work, career, health, in a year's time, 3 years' time, 4 years' time, 5 years' time, and 10 years' time.
Wow, so it was that intensive?
It was that intensive.
My goodness.
So, and it was your own contract with yourself. It wasn't one that you're going to be showing anybody, or anybody was going to hold you accountable to, but you had to have that vision board up against your wall that says, this is where I want to be. Now, Lord, guide me there. Guiding you there, it takes more than prayer. It takes hard work. So we were talking to that. And, we're talking to the kind of relationships we immerse ourselves in. are they enabling?
Yes.
You know, are they the kind of relationships that are going to be able to carry you when you cannot carry yourself? And know your rights within those relationships, be it love, whatever. But mostly love are the ones that are most crippling for women,
Yes.
and most enabling as well. And we then, it was beautiful. It was another level. But for me, when I was going into it, I intended to open up with that Marianne Williamson thing that says, you know, it's your brilliance, it's your best that allows, if it comes out, it allows other people to actually have theirs shine.
Yes.
But immediately in the morning, as I was preparing, I had you know, in my spirit that, my child, do not think you're going there to teach my children about me. They know me.
Yes.
They have a relationship with me. You need to go and remind them about obedience. Because that's a different thing. Knowing and being obedient to that knowing is different. So it's through obedience that the purpose can manifest. Because it's like, you know, you can go to university and you can study, and that makes you feel like you're ready for the world. And that maybe carries you, your education or miseducation carries you through, you know, to a certain point. But if it's not aligned to obedience, there's a shortcoming right there. And it doesn't serve the purpose, and it's not for the greater glory and good. So remind everyone of just being obedient. It's a simple thing. It's not so simple to practice.
Yes.
So in that whole discussion that we had, it was saying our dreams were placed in us so many years ago. So when we were kids, we already dreamt of what you want to become. Are you living it today? You know, and if not, why not?
Yeah.
You know, and that you are able. By the way, the most important thing is other people, when they failed once, twice, 3 times, feel like I can't do no more. But failure is not fatal to God. You know, and delay is also not denial to God. You know, and there's no such a thing that I have made so many mistakes that I can't come back. Nothing is untenable through the grace of God. So stop beating yourself up, and to remind women to be gentler with themselves. We're gentle with our kids, we're gentle with our partners, we're kind even. We lay ourselves
to everybody
but ourselves, you know. We're living with guilt, we're living with self-stuff, shame and to be honest with you, we were not born with a manual. The only manual we have is the Bible and prayer. So when we steer off the road, can we just be kind to ourselves?
Yes.
Can we just embrace ourselves with kindness and love, please? Yeah.
Speaking of steering off the road and goals and things like that, last week we were talking about women finding their purpose, because I find that the people who find it most difficult to understand who they are and to find their purpose is women, because of, you know, how we were brought up, that, you know, when you were growing up, the only thing you were given was a doll. So therefore you just grew up thinking, I'm just going to be a mother and somebody's wife. So now, what about the women who come into these events, and you guys are busy now writing your goals and, you know, 10-year, 5-year, but they still don't even know who they are? And how do you help them? How do you help these women to start now navigating and trying to find that voice in the midst of all this clutter and all the stuff that they've been hearing, you know, growing up? You're
not good enough. Or this is not for you. This is for the boys.
Yes.
You know, it's all about going back to your first love. Because that first love is the love that was real. I'm not talking to the man love. I'm talking to your first things that ignited your passions, things that ignited you. And we all have that. It may have been replaced by cooking and cleaning and being domesticated, but that thing is there. And very often, it becomes a consultative process, self-consultative first, and where people are fortunate enough to be able to get, you know, sort of guidance from people around them with good intentions and good. I mean, if we were friends from childhood, somehow in my process of self-consultation, I could come back and say, but Jamie, what do you think? Because it's a reflection process.
Yes,
and I
yes,
think you're good at
definitely.
this, you're good at that, you're good at that. And some of the stuff is like, what? I didn't know that I can speak properly. No, whatever it is, So, but it needs the first thing of confidence, of
Yes.
going, my hand is up, I'm confused. So can I be guided? And then, I mean, for other people who are even luckier and they can afford sort of career guidance and your psychology help, that's fantastic. But most people don't.
Yeah.
So it becomes a matter of be brave enough to say that you're not able to get there by yourself. And then let's look at what you like. There's cognitive stuff. There's, things that need logic and emotion and this and that and that and that and that. And very often, because my whole premise is never pretend to be an expert where you're not. There's enough of them. So send people where they need to be sent. I have a group of women that I can send people to for various different needs. Dietitians and this and that and that. And in this process we've decided we're all supporting one another. So it's not to pay, where necessary. But again, it's a matter of time and love.
Yes.
So it goes that far. But where people can't even get to us, it's saying go back to the church. Go back to where people can pray with you.
Yes.
and get you to that space. So somehow what you're saying to a person is that there's you're not at a dead end. There is something that can get done. And there are things and there's options and there's other ways of looking at the same thing, and also validation. People need to be validated. I doubt very much that not unless one as a human being has lost their way, has lost their soul to whatever it is in the world, that seed that we like, that first breath comes with the divine ability, a divine natural ability. That divine natural ability is where your purpose sits as a person. So why I'm saying that is that I doubt very much that there's a person ever alive who doesn't have that in their DNA, their divine natural ability.
Yeah.
We all have that. If you forget it, it could be because you've been so miseducated.
Yes.
If you forget it, it's maybe because you've bought so much into the lies or the things that are not you. But if you really go inside and do the work, the self-love, the self-reflective work that you need to be done, I think one can safely arrive at that first love.
First love, where you find your purpose. You also you said if you can't help the people, you send them back to church. So I just want to understand the organization itself. Is it open, or are you inclined to one particular religion?
No.
Where is the stand for
my
Owami?
Bridget, I am a Christian. I was brought up in a Christian home. I believe in God, in the Holy Spirit, in the Father and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But I'm well sort of informed, I think, to understand that the thing that combines people is I won't meet you and say you're Christian first. I could fall in love with all your attributes and you turn out to be Buddhist. So, does that suddenly, when my discovery that you're Buddhist, does it make you any less of a human being or less? No, it doesn't do that. So that has taught me a healthy respect for people's, the thing that my partner and I always say is whatever gets you up in the morning, whatever gets you through your day. Now, I don't have to indulge in what gets you through your day for me to be able to resonate with you or the other way around. I know the Bible says about kindred spirits or not, but the truth is that we are all children of God. You can arrive at it in your own understanding, your own language, culture, whatever. I believe in God, in the Bible, what it says for me. That said, we're not supposed to be separatist.
Yes.
Who are you really? Whose life are you touching? If we're all preaching to the converted and our friends, and we can have coffee together, and we feel that we've done the job of work, that's not the job of work. The job of work is people being able to see Christ inside of you. People saying, "I want what she has because it's life-giving." and that life she doesn't give to herself. So who is this God that she serves? I want to find out about that God. Then you can minister about God to them in that way, you know. But to answer your question about denominationality, no.
Okay.
We are meeting as sisters. Firstly, we're both hurt. You could be green, whatever. We are both women.
Yeah.
Physical attributes are the same. Our birthing processes are the same. Everything is the same up until we decide differently about whatever we believe. But that does not mean that you and I cannot sit together and really share life-giving experiences together. And so when you send back people to where they come from, you're sending them to a place of what is their source.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so my source is the church, and I will first mention to you to go back to the church because that's what's natural to me, unashamedly. But if you were to say to me, I'm going to see Sheikh, whatever, that's what works for you. If it delivers you, if it gets you to a place where you have a sense of comfort about when you get your aha moment, your first love, and you connect, it's your journey. It's your journey.
Interesting stuff. We're going to take a short break right now, and when we come back, we're going to explore this notion of sisterhood. How do you become a sister to somebody, or how do you find a sister? We'll be back right now.
Dexterity, 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 Dexterity Radio, your foreigner's #1 international radio station.
Now only you be number one. Only you be number one. Only you be number one. Number two, now camouflage. Open gas station, you go one person. Now only you be number one. Chai, dexterity. Only you be number one. Number two, now camouflage. Open gas station, you go one person.
I miss the later days. I remember those days. We'll talk about them some other time. But I bumped into a blast from the past last week. Someone that I used to write letters to. But that's a topic for another day. But it was very interesting. Now we are tweeting. Now we are sending each other WhatsApps. But there was a time when we used to send each other letters. And speaking of letters, we're going to be talking about sisterhood now. Bridget is still with us. We're talking about Owami women with deep and meaningful conversations. Now, how do you adopt a sister? What's this sisterhood concept?
You know, the sisterhood concept is literally that you can be instrumental in assisting another woman overcome something in their lives just through support, through being a sister, you know, whether availing yourself to listening or guiding or praying for me, you know. So we started this whole campaign of Adopt a Sister, where we literally say exactly that you know, if you want to be instrumental in supporting, caring, or giving yourself or sharing with another woman, you please advise us, and we will find you the right pair. You know, because women come from different places. They want some about the career itself.
Yes.
Others are about the relationship, motherhood, and all that. So, and in the network, like I say, out of the 1,000 women that we have, 1,100, there's women who are prayer warriors, you know, really astute in various aspects of life. So we will ask them if they're willing. I will send them, you know, your profile, what you're saying about who you are, what you're looking for. And as soon as they give me permission to link you with them, I just link you onto them. One of the things that are important is that we caution, there's not supposed to be any money exchanging hands, or now we haven't eaten yesterday, please send us money. It's nothing like that. It's spiritual, emotional support. Okay. So somebody to talk to, a sounding board, advice, that practical stuff like that. And that's how it works. I mean, if you read there on our website, we literally say, what is a sister? You know, we say that, you know, a sister is somebody that you know, it's an ally, a defender, a gentle arm bender, an honest debater, a storyteller, a planner, a lender, the perfect gift to a sender. You know, somebody, a whiner, a diner, outfit designer, meter greeter, chocolate eater, secret provider, on your sider, a diva sometimes, But all of those things that you can rely on a sister for. But most importantly, a listening ear, a loyal volunteer, somebody who can a cherished advisor, and somebody who won't let, and won't let it rest, and know that you are the best, and that's what makes you a sister, and sisters are forever.
So people can go on the website and fill in a form.
Yes, they can.
To request either to be a sister to somebody, or to request that you link them up with a sister.
To adopt or to be adopted.
Yeah, to
or
adopt
both.
or to be adopted.
Yeah.
I mean, for the first time now you can, as women sometimes you are so strong for everybody, especially if you're a mother in a home. You are so strong for your children, you're so strong for your siblings. But now this opportunity allows you now to be vulnerable, I believe, to say, you know what, I've been so strong for everybody. I need somebody as well that I can lean on, that can be my support. So that after I've done so much for everybody else, I can go and offload to somebody. So I think this is a good opportunity. Go onto the website, fill in the form, and then Bridget will link you up with the right people. And like she said, this is not for money, unfortunately. I mean, there are, I guess there are other organizations that can help you with that if you find yourself maybe in a situation where there's no food at home or things like that. But we wouldn't encourage you to overburden these people, because they've offered their time. And as she said, some are prayer warriors, so they are willing to pray for you. But we wouldn't want you to send, those kind of requests where you say, we haven't eaten, please can you give us some money. It's once people start exchanging money, the situation becomes messy.
Yes.
But it is opened. Put in your details there. And then do you also have like a database where people can just put their names there so that they are up to date with what's happening?
Yes, they can actually email me. If I can give out my email address.
Give us your email address.
It's Bridget, Bridget, .Nkuna, N for Nelly, Kuna, the number 3, @gmail.com. So it's bridget.nkuna3@gmail.com, or at info@owamiwomen.co.za.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you put them in the database, and you also have a newsletter, you said?
I have a newsletter. We are revamping it. And so that will be sending out to the database.
Okay.
The existing database, and every other person that's interested in receiving one. It's digital, so we can email it to anybody who requires it.
Okay. And then tell me now, you said there is also a network of ladies that you have. So now, say for instance, somebody is looking for a gynecologist. Is this a platform that they can maybe send an email to say, hey, Bridget, I'm looking for a gynecologist who's an Owami woman, you know?
Yes.
So you offer those kind of services as well?
We do.
Or an accountant or a lawyer?
Yes, and we have those.
Yes.
Those specifically we have, trust me. When it comes to gynecologist, I mean, our radius as far as that is concerned is obviously, within Gauteng, within Johannesburg, within Pretoria bases and Rustenburg. But besides that, if it's more your practical side, things that are like fiduciary stuff, finance stuff, and life coaching and dietitian stuff, because you can do that online. It's not like having to physically get a doctor. Those things our people, I mean, across the ocean, people can do that. So we have that. Yes.
Is it? Because I'm seeing that this can be like a nice platform for you, especially as women, because you always looking for a safe place where you can, where you can lay your head or lay your heart or whatever. So if you can find a lawyer that is an Owami woman, if you can find an accountant that is an Owami woman, I would encourage you to do that, because as you do that, you are sort of like taking out all unnecessary things that you don't want in your life, because at some point as you grow up, you need to decide which people you let into your space.
Amen.
And which people you don't let into your space, because everybody who comes into your space, they leave energy.
Yes.
Yeah,
they do.
Energy. So
tell me about
so we have enough battles to fight in life. things that you know, because you know your accountant knows everything about you, your lawyer knows everything about you, your doctor knows everything about you. Wouldn't it be nice if it's somebody that at least you know that their background is sure?
Yes.
Tried, tested, sure, and it's got that Owami stamp.
Amen.
So I encourage you guys, if you are around Joburg, Pretoria, and Rustenburg, you can contact Bridget and start streamlining your life. You know, it's still the beginning of the year. You're making plans and setting goals and saying, this I won't do this year, this I won't do. You know, try and streamline your life to certain kind of people who carry a particular energy.
Yes.
So that you're not fighting unnecessary battles in life.
Unseen battles, but you're feeling them.
You're feeling them, but you don't know where they're coming from.
Exactly.
And sometimes you went to the wrong doctor.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where your doctor is getting their inspiration.
Yes.
You know?
They are rejuvenation. What's driving them?
What's driving them? What are their principles? What are their values? You know, all those kind of things. So I'd encourage you to start doing that for yourself. I also want to talk about now people beyond South Africa.
Sure.
You know, because the world has become so small. You know, now we are speaking to somebody probably in Vietnam, in Lagos, Kenya.
Yes.
Somebody's listening from Zimbabwe. You know, and these women are like, I need to find my voice. I need to come out of this cocoon or this matchbox that I had been, you know, locked in.
Yes.
And now there is this Owami women.
That's right. You know, you're so right when you're saying that the internet has made the global space a village, basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, on Thursday, I was on an international Los Angeles radio broadcast, and literally we found each other on the net, you know, and similar principles, similar space and aspirations. And which tells you that the aspirations are global.
Yeah.
The need is global. And I can safely say that because of, Dexterity is an online radio, and to your point, we're reaching everybody. So does Owami Women. You know, through Facebook, people can reach out to me directly as Bridget Nkuna. Also, they can, they can go onto our Facebook page, which is Owami Women's Breakfast with Deep and Meaningful Conversations. And also my Gmail account and so forth that I've given already. So, to be honest with you, we have women from Iran, yes, who write, who will just, ask for friendship. And, initially I'd be like a little bit cautious, but they will come with Christian messages. Okay, so which tells you that this is a global movement, but secondly, that we all have the same need. There's women, as I've spoken to America, I've spoken to France as well. And it's exciting for me because, it's colorless.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's not that it's for black women or green women or yellow women. It's for all women. That's what the internet and global, technology has allowed us to do, which I think if God has instructed us to go out and spread the word, there is no finer way to do it now than through this medium. Yeah. And we cannot say that we couldn't spread the word because it was somehow enabled by God, by the universe for us to be able to do that. So let's take this moment, and we do take this moment. I certainly am not closed at all. And I believe that the women are so open-minded. The education or miseducation of a woman, it does not take books. It takes life experience. Yeah. And a lot of the women are so, there's a maturity that comes with, say, putting your hand up and saying, I need. And I'm willing to risk a little bit or to be vulnerable a little bit. And like we've spoken before earlier, that it's about that level of trust. It doesn't matter where it emanates. It's just you finding that person that you resonate well with, and finding that space that resonates with you, and finding that you can grow in it and explore yourself and other people and things that are external to you in that space.
So if people have events, let's say they have a women's conference in Lagos, for instance, are you willing to hop on the flight to go and speak to those women? You do?
Absolutely. Where God calls me, I'm going to go. Because it's not my work.
Yes.
It's not even my all this is not my work.
Yes.
So I have to be obedient, and I want to be obedient. And where I get stuck, I'll pray about something until I get an understanding of what it is that I'm supposed to do.
Tell me, what drives you?
Oh, life drives me. The opportunity to be alive drives me. I'm passionate about life. I'm passionate about this gift called life. Because I know that it's not automatic. It feels automatic because that's how it's been engineered. Our bodies function, everything functions. But when I reflect on just the small little things, being able to move your arm, being able to wake up in the morning when others don't. Hello, how can you not wake up with gospel? How can you not wake up and say, hey, I've been given a chance and I'm going to take this moment because it may never come again. I encourage one. I'm not a perpetual optimist, but what I am is I'm in life. I'm in love with this gift that God has given me, and I am certainly very, very clear. I'm going to use this opportunity because, as I said, it won't be there forever.
Yeah,
and the energy also. We're quite young.
Yes,
and we're only going to be able to do what we do possibly to a long time if we're here for a long time, but. The energy changes as you grow and mature, which is a lovely thing too. Growth is wonderful. But the time that we're in now is a fantastic time.
Yes.
Because we can still I can travel to you. You can travel to me. We can travel the world. We can, you can wake me up in the middle of the night and I don't feel like you've taken away from me. I feel grumpy about it. But I'm certain if I was 60, I would feel like, don't you know that this comes quite hard. So don't wait at 60 years of age.
No, I hear you. I've asked so many questions and I could ask many more questions, but I'm looking at our time and I want to make sure that you don't leave here thinking, there's something that I wanted to tell these women and Mantombi didn't ask me that one thing, So I just want to make sure that I give you that opportunity. What is in your heart? What is it that when you came here today, you were like, when I walk out of that place, this is one thing I want the women who are listening to have grasped.
What I'd like to say, and thank you for this opportunity, Mantombi, is that women are so precious. To be a woman, we've spoken about being alive and all that, but now what really makes me feel special is being a woman. The fact that we birth children, the fact that we are such life carriers, such nurturers, it's in our innate being. I want to encourage women to be proud of that, to be proud of being a woman. No other person can be a woman but a woman. No other person can do what a woman does. They may try to defile us, downgrade us, what it is. But I want to encourage every woman listening today to just walk to a mirror and look at themselves and say, I'm a woman, and that is so beautiful. I carry life. I am a life carrier, and I am beautiful because I'm made in the image of God, and He had a wonderful plan for my life, and I'm here to fulfill that. So the days I feel worthless, the days that I feel confused, Lord, please let me remember that which you made me, a woman, a beautiful woman, a strong woman, a life giver.
Wow. That's an Owami woman there, a strong woman, a life giver, a precious woman, a beautiful woman who is made in the image of God.
Amen.
When we come back, we're going to say goodbye to Bridget. She's going to tell us how we can support, because every organization needs support. And
Amen.
I believe, her organization would also do with some support. So after the break, we'll talk about that.
Dexterity Radio. No limits, no boundaries.
Oh. That's R. Kelly, When a Woman Loves. Before we close, I think I forgot to ask Bridget this question about love. Are you married?
I am deeply in love.
Oh, wow. She is deeply in love and she loves for real.
I do.
But what is it about women that women end up in these relationships that are so toxic and that are stripping them. Why do you find that women struggle in that regard?
It's the search, you know. We all want to be loved. We all innately, we want to belong to somebody or to some people. And when you're a woman, you're looking for that masculine energy to embrace you. That masculine energy is supposed to protect you, love you, and serve you. So you're not wrong for wanting love at all.
Yeah.
It's not unnatural. What becomes unnatural is how you get treated in that relationship, or you allow yourself to be treated in that relationship, whichever way it is. And so we can't blame women for searching for love. And also women cannot predict the situations that they go into. You know, and for the longest time, sometimes abusive relationships are so insidious. They start out, even the abuse is there, but you can't even smell it for abuse. A little bit of it smells like love in the beginning, that overprotectiveness. So by the time you catch yourself in this catch 22, you are really in a serious problem. You are disempowered, all of that stuff. So I honestly encourage women not to look down on another woman when they're going through their moment, because this moment can happen to the most intelligent, most revered woman. It can happen to me, it can happen to you, you know what I mean. So ours is to say, if you do know a sister, you do catch somebody in that situation, take your time to support them, to open up their eyes without judgment, with love and patience and integrity. You know, nobody wants to be talked about in a bad way. So, but women are very good sometimes at doing that. You know, just tell me what's going on, and then the next thing somebody else knows about your problems and your issues and all the stuff that the thing that is not right. So, to be honest with you, I think sometimes it's a journey. And it's the journey to the self, self-discovery, realizing your own strength. So some of these experiences, you can't wish them away. You've got to face them and really go through them, you know. And then once you're over them, you are able to become a testimony giver or testimony bearer to others. And they can really believe you because you have experienced it. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm a mother. I've got a daughter, and I don't want my daughter to experience that. But even I, with the mother of really high standards and great expectations for my life, I have gone through some really bad relationships. Some of it through my own options and choices, fall in love, young at heart, all the stuff that the stuff you can think about. And so there's not a thing that my mom could have protected me from those relationships. One thing that you can protect is to pray for your child and show them God, teach them at an early age and their self-worth. Instill it every single day. I tell my daughter every day that you are so beautiful. You are precious. I don't know why I actually deserve to get you, but you are the most amazing human being. And I love everything that God has given me, and I'm going to cherish it, and I'm going to steer it and guide it in the right way, and know your worth. And nobody has a right to take away from you that which you are. I do that. So, but I don't know if that's enough, just to protect them, because they will meet up with young, charming snipers. Scumbags. And those scumbags are somebody else's child too, so somehow there needs to be a healthy kind of, my son, turn away from all that's wrong to what's right, and guidance of some sort.
So there is nothing wrong with looking for love, ladies. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up, and just keep your eyes open. The Nigerians like to say, shine your eye.
Shine your eye. Keep it right there.
Shine your eye. So you look at, whatever it is that does not validate or make you feel worthy. Whatever strips away your confidence and makes you feel small, you run away from it. But it's a journey. And
if it doesn't feel right, it's not going to be right.
Yes.
You can will it to be right. You can wish it and, be poetic about it even, or romanticize it. So what is it? It's that clock. It's that watchful eye that God has given us inside of us that doesn't feel, just internally, man, something's not right about this individual. But maybe you like his muscles.
Yes.
He's so handsome and he smiles and it looks like he's got money coming out of his mouth. Whatever. Take a moment to regroup and say in this moment, what is it that I'm really feeling? Is he the one? So take your time. I love this song that I play for myself even, Mantombi. It's by Kirk Franklin. It says, hide me. I pray sometimes and I say, God, hide me.
Yes.
Hide me from these hyenas. Hide me from these social ills and hide me.
Yes, we need to be hidden. Oh, we've run out of time. It was such a beautiful conversation. I hope it was meaningful to you and I hope it was deep enough for you, because for me it was very deep. I feel so liberated and I feel changed. I have a better perspective about other issues that I had been struggling with in my life, and I hope that you as a listener out there, you've taken something out of this and you will continue the conversation even online on Facebook. You will join Bridget Nkuna, or you can go to Owami Conversation Breakfast
for Women with Deep and Meaningful Conversations.
Yes, that one. And we will continue this conversation online, or you can fill in a form to get a sister or adopt a sister on the website as well, www.owami.co.za. Am I right?
That's right. Owami Women.
Owamiwomen.co.za. So we had a great time. You can catch me again next week Saturday on Dexterity Radio. Please continue to check us online, www.dexterityradio.com, or email us at info@dexterityradio.com. Facebook, it's Dexterity Radio. I also have my own page now, Today's Ladies, on Facebook. So please do like us on that page. And if you've got questions or you still want more information, or you want us to direct you to Bridget, do let us know and we will do so. From myself, from Bridget and Darlington Steve, who are sitting in the background, it's a good night and God bless you.
Dexterity, 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 Dexterity Radio, your foreigners' #1 international radio station.
Now only you be number one. Only you be number one. Only you be number one. Number 2 now camouflage. Open gas station, you go one person. Now only you be number one. Chai, Dexterity. Only you be number 1. Number 2 now camouflage. Open gas station, you go one person.